Have you ever felt like a total fraud? Like you don't deserve anything you have, that basically you're not good enough at anything? Because same. Well, I guess that's the reason why you clicked on this video. I'm a creative, so I get imposter syndrome very frequently, but that's not to say that only creatives have it. So many people that I've met, either online or in person, have had at least once in their life experienced imposter syndrome. And today I'm going to share with you a few tips that are always helping me to push it back and go on with my life. Let's start with one of my very recent experiences, and it was when I had just gotten a big freelance client for my design business. So I had to create a proposal, send them a quote. I was really confident during the whole setting up of the proposal because I knew exactly what I'm capable of, what the result will be. I already had a vision that I felt it aligned with their brand. As soon as I sent that email, guess what? The imposter syndrome just kicked in, and thoughts came through my mind that there is no reason why they should pay me that much money. I am not that good. Why do I think that I can charge that much money? Why do I think I am good enough for this? What have I done? As soon as they accepted and signed the contract, second wave of imposter syndrome. Even though I had the proof that they trusted me, there was a second wave that told me, how am I supposed to prove that I am good enough for the money that they're spending with me? Like, can I even do this? Did I overpromise? Can I really do something amazing for them so that they don't come back to me and say, well, we paid that much money. What is this? Now I'm gonna share with you the tips that really helped me to overcome this almost as soon as it starts. But before we jump on the tips that I have to share with you, let's just see what imposter syndrome is. The dictionary says that it is the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. All of my life I've had this, but in the last few years I have managed to find ways and mechanisms and a system that I go through, kind of like a checklist, so that it doesn't last long and I go back to normal. I go back to my motivated and inspired self. So the first thing I do to start overcoming imposter syndrome is to name it. I know it sounds really simple, but if you name it, as soon as you hear that little voice in your head that says, you're not good enough, anything similar, just name it. Say, yes, that's imposter syndrome, And you can even give it a name like Lucinda or something, whatever. I don't know why I got Lucinda as the first choice, but whatever. Name it and don't leave it grow in your head as the reality of things. That's the first thing I do. The step number 2, or the second in the checklist, overcome it, is to gather evidence. You can have a folder in your laptop or phone, notepad, whatever. You can have a physical folder with things printed out that basically proves that this is not true. You can have even the smallest wins, like someone said, well done to me for XYZ. I got paid X amount of money for that project. Anything that you can think of that can remind you of the achievements, even if they are tiny or even if you think they are tiny. This is the step that I really come back to. I give more focus and attention. Just proves I am not who the imposter syndrome says I am. I am someone else. I am the person that tries to achieve their goals. I am working towards them. I'm not fooling anyone. It's just me trying to go through life with achievements and failures and everyday life. A third on the checklist is to really open up about it and talk about imposter syndrome whenever you get it. Choose a few people in your immediate circle, people that you trust the most. It's something that also pushed me to do this video because A couple of days ago, again, I had this imposter syndrome. To be honest, I almost every time I send a quote to a potential client, immediately as soon as I send the email, I get imposter syndrome. And this time I actually turned to my husband and said, did I price it correctly? Did I price it maybe too high? Do I deserve this amount of money for the project? But talk to the people that are closest to you and just explain to them how you're feeling. What are the thoughts that go through your mind? And to be honest, they might even remind you of wins that you haven't considered in the previous step. Number 4 in our checklist is to redefine success and failure in our journey. A lot of people, me included, we think of success as this end goal that everything will be perfect, and that's the only definition that we give to success. And then anything less and anything between now and that goal, we see it as a failure. But that's definitely so far away from the definition of the success and the failure. Success is the journey, is the learnings, the growth. The failures in the journey are part of the success, because if you don't fail at something in your journey, you are missing ways to identify issues and solutions and help yourself to actually achieve what you're trying to achieve. Sit with yourself, make a list, maybe journal or write a few sentences of what success means to you and what failure means to you. Something that I really started to live by is the quote that says, better done than perfect. And number 5 is to just do it anyway. You have this voice in your head that says all those things that we figured out they are not true. It's not the reality, it's not who you are. Your journey is there, your journey is real. And even if you hear that voice over and over again in your head, it shouldn't stop you from doing the thing. So even if anything else in the list of the tips that I'm sharing with you today doesn't help you, just do it anyway. At some point during the process of you doing the thing, the voice will just stop. It will not have the significance that it had when it appeared. So just do it anyway. And there is no better feeling than to prove that voice wrong. So remember that story I told you with the project I got and I sent the proposal? You know what I did? I just kept going, started designing. I kept designing, even if the voice was coming back to me when I was stuck a bit on, or I was losing inspiration. I just kept going. And the confidence kept building up. And you know what was the result? A really amazing, powerful and successful brand identity that the client really absolutely loves. And I love it, and it's one of my greatest achievements. So imagine what would happen if I kept listening to that voice in my head. I wouldn't have this experience. I don't know if I would be here talking to you about imposter syndrome. So things are really linking to each other, and it's our journey. It's part of our journey. So we just need to keep going, being ourselves, and proving that little voice wrong every single time. I would really love to hear your stories and your experience with imposter syndrome, or if you also have any other tips that help you overcome it. And if this video helped you, I would appreciate if you give it a like and if you subscribe to the channel, or if you want to share it with someone that you know they might be suffering from imposter syndrome. I know that all of us creatives suffer from it over and over and over again. So if you have a friend or a colleague that is a creative person, then just send them this video. It might help them in more ways than you can think of. I would love to hear your stories in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!